Welcome back. WeArEuS and this is Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. In the previous episode, well, we made a mess. Surely Horgus isn't going to have a problem with that. I mean, he asked us to be here anyway, and, well, you know, this was par for the course considering that they're all evil. And so we head through the door, carefully. Now.
Quiet steps, weapons ready.
I already quick saved, but just to be safe.
We march ahead.
Just to be safe. We march ahead. On our tippy toes. One step at a time. That's it. Oh, that's a Babau. I don't.
My tail is restless.
That means there's loot to be had. So, I don't know what else is in this room. Oh, we can't see the Babau from here. We need to move her here.
Who, me?
Him here. There we go. Now.
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge. Make every strike. If we step on their toes as well.
Ooh, 32 damage reduced to the Babau off of a sneak attack. Can we? Oh no, only a 7 to follow up. But it is now below half health. And it's probably just a little bit, just a teensy bit afraid now. So Wojif is going to give himself some resistance, getting some bonuses on saving throws, and probably, oh, that's the end of his turn. I don't want to move Seela up, but, well, what can you do? Actually, what I can do is have her grip and sip, because Babaus don't hit gently. She still has the ward on her because she hasn't been hit yet. I'm going to... Wait, can it even be stunned? Yep. No, that's not a concern. We'll move Morrow up. We'll do that instead. Ember. Ember. She would have to move at all, so we'll wait instead. Lann's turn got skipped. This is okay. That's subject to spell resistance. So we will actually delay our turn. To see what it does. I thought it ran into the wall and hurt itself. Woljif, if you would be so kind.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
No damage. No damage. It's only got 19. Well, it does have the damage reduction, so there's that. That's fine.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
What now? He shouldn't be threatening Lann because he's on the other side of a wall away from him. But the Abracandaloo... Let's get this thing killed first, shall we? We'll have Ember sleep that guy. If we're lucky.
I'll cut you wide open.
Unexpected consequences.
Do not hold back.
There is another Babau in here. We have to get out of this room. This is really bad. Like, there's bad, and then there's this. Grease them. Grease them all. There we go. This one doesn't have a weapon, though. But it'll still absolutely shred if it hits. Can you even get a shot on this guy? Good news, he can't. Excellent.
This will leave a bruise.
Might be able to turn this into something.
Distract them from me.
Then again, it's a Cambion. Got the saving throw, but he is still affected by reduced armor class. Sure wishing I had more holy water. At the very least, the Abracandalo is still on its back.
The spirits demand your blood.
Strike as one.
I'll just sit here.
Tactical
Don't worry
retreat.
about me.
No.
Well, that's not good. Dang it. It's even worse now.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
This pain is... So this is how it feels?
Oh, this is bad. I could get him out of here and then just grease it up. And let just Lann deal with it. He still has to take 2 attacks of opportunity. Good. We don't actually have that many potions left. What are we looking for? Is it an ability? Yeah. What's his mobility? It's a +5. What is WoGIFs? +12, naturally.
Hold on, just a little more.
Okay. Good enough. Tried to sleep that one already. We're here for grease, though. Okay, this is all on Lann now. This is... let's just do this. You can't see that thing.
You won't survive me.
5 reduced. 2 reduced.
Time to share your treasures!
Who is it aiming for? So it just got up and chose Sunder Armor. Okay. Where are we looking at? Morrow? God dang it. Right there. Good, he's asleep now. That's one less problem to deal with. Move her out of here. Forgot that this is still on. An attack rolls, but that's fine. I will use grease again if I have to. So, first things first. Let's get him out of there.
Endure this!
It's all your fault!
Yeah, sort of. Okay. Next things we want to do. Critical hit for 8. And we move him back. Also, turn this off. Let's see. Ooh, that's bad.
Make every strike count. This is not my time yet.
Oh, come on. All of a sudden she can't do anything. Acrobatics.
This was unexpected. Attack!
Yep. Oh, that's it. Okay.
Godspeed.
Hold on. We know what we're looking at here, so we'll do it this way.
Let us not hesitate.
Save the last one for me.
Next one is Ember. I won't use the staff. We'll just wait. Scroll of... Well, it's not a scroll, it's a spell. Spell of Greased Up Deaf Guy. Seela has no more self-touch, so she drinks to calm her nerves. Lann gets away from there. It'll take them ages to get through there. One thing I don't want is to have to deal with multiple Babaus at a single time. Hmm. The frick? Anyway. There's also a Cambion in there. Spell resistance, but is this even subject to it? Yeah. Wonderful. So, I know not to depend on him for using scrolls. May as well put that back. You can't do anything with it. Instead, take one of these. We'll give Blessed Weapon to her, if I can find it.
Can we give this to the needy instead?
Right, it's not her turn. Swojif. Everyone is still outlined because they're still technically in sneak, or they're still in stealth mode. Because the enemy is technically only aware of Morrow, thanks to his entanglement, entangling roots. Lasts a minute per level. I'm going to actually wait. The one with the spear is coming, so he's probably going to have to want him as close to the edge of this as possible, so everyone else can reach him too. Let's see. Dang it, we can no longer see the guy. I'm as confused as you are. I guess that's really weird.
Watch and learn.
That is a new one for me. I know the grease is still here. I think it spills out to about, it's about in this area here. Not sure how I want to do this. Pretty sure I can leave this. I wonder. Hold on. Like, we know enemies are right there. That is silly. But I like it. Okay. I don't know how to do this. I need Wojif
is restless.
right there. But he can't see very far. What about
Open your heart to
Camellia?
me.
And
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge.
you.
I stand ready.
So that's where the grease is. Good to know. It's further out than I had expected.
Together we stand. Let us press on.
So, now I know. Dang, I want what's in there.
Something wrong? Fine.
There's one.
Are we in trouble yet?
Oh, we're getting there.
You've crossed the wrong mark.
Heartbeat quickens.
You missed with the first one, and dealt 1 damage with the second. Good job. Out of the frying pan, but are you still in the grease? While I'm on her, let's give her the spell. This. Okay. Seela still has ward.
Yes.
Like, are you okay? Do you want... Alright. Let's move this way. No point in being in stealth, it's not going to help.
You won't survive me.
6 damage to the Babau laying down. What else do we have? I need to cease. This is a touch range, right? Yeah. I wanted to cast it on this guy to be able to illuminate around him, but what can you do? We'll avoid making any rash moves right now. We'll give this to Seela. Time to turn this into an obstacle course. Right here. I don't ask for much, you know? Okay. Four damage. Better than 0 I was expecting.
Endure this!
Missed both shots. Actually, I want to give this to Lann. How nice of them to not have an indication of that buff being on the weapon, though. Let's see, we want this on her. That's it for you. This on yourself, because why not? So do you want to use it now, or do you want to hold off until later? The bastard rolled a 20. Let's get her back. Ugh, that's not good. And missed it. This and this.
Make every strike count.
He hit for 42! My God! Lann hitting for a grand total of 83 damage. Bosses beware. Let's put her here. You want her just on the edge of the crease. So here. Why not? Not resistant to fear, supposedly. But it's also a... Nope. Shouldn't be. Unfortunate. Seela still has wards, so I don't actually want to put that guy to sleep. I want this one to sleep. And he's down for the count. The Babau is not asleep, though. Interesting. So let's swap out. Actually, swapping wouldn't really be worth it, would it? Oh, in for a penny, in for a pound. Come get some. 5 damage, good enough. Then there's Lann, who misses the first shot, and with the second, misses even harder somehow. Forgot about the Cambion. I mean, we're going to rest after this anyway, so let's go with that. She can only have one smite evil target at a time. I did not know that. Gave Lann a little bit of fury because, I mean, why not? And, well, we just stand here. Woljif. What do we do with little old Wolji? That's a demon. They're all demons, so... none of them do energy damage as far as I'm aware. Well, we just sit here and wait, I guess. Of course, we could try putting you to sleep. Dang it. Great. There goes her armor. Resist energy, not useful here. Unless there's negative. Nope. No. This guy first. 45 to the Babau, followed up by a miss. It's shaking in its boots. Or should I say, it's shaking in its baboots. I think we'll go with the Cambion. I want to go for the Babau, but she doesn't have the Smite Evil on it anymore. Ooh, and she hits for a 35, laying him down and out forever. Camellia, feeling a little smug, decides she wants to take a shot at the Babau while it's not looking.
I'll cut you wide open.
She misses. She hides her embarrassment behind a smirk, as if she knew it was going to happen. Woljif, on the other hand. Woljif
Cover me, alright?
does nothing. Ooh, he reduced its armor class. That is going to be useful. Now, we've got her. She doesn't have... what is it we're looking for? No, she does have the scroll, but will she be able to actually use it? Of course she can't use it. The difficulty is of 20 freaking 1. Great. Try putting that to sleep. That were Candaloo, I did not try to put to sleep. Getting her out of here. She's been hit. I need to put the ward back on her.
Do not hold back.
Lann, seeking retribution, decides he wants to give himself a third attack. Uses it on the Babau, hitting for 15 the first shot, 12 the second, killing the Babau and landing a 12 damage on the Abracandaloo like we knew he could. Sela, the Gigantus, looks down upon her prey and, with fervor,
No glory without
lands a 13 even though it's reduced, dealing pretty nice damage. Pretending she's not embarrassed to be small next to such a giant, powerful woman, Camellia tries her hand at attacking the Abracandaloo
Demand your blood.
and further embarrasses herself by landing a mere 1. She pretends she could have done better,
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
and its armor class is reduced. Good stuff. Great. Saving throw succeeded. Super unfortunate. It's asleep now. Can Morrow avoid being... Nope.
Make every strike
And we're done
count.
here. Well, that one was a bit of a mess. Family secrets. Now, first things first, we need to have
This war
Ember
must end.
get rid of the...
Our time has come.
Ask nicely.
And just like that, the battlefield is clear. What are you doing?
This spell's faulty. No, really.
Okay. I think it's... Well, first let's
Distract them for me.
go ahead and do this. Junk. What a waste. Okay. Time for night-night, everyone. Would you look at that? I've made it through another day without being killed or eaten and without looking any more decrepit than I did yesterday. Not too shabby for a mongrel. All right. I had to go and turn the fan on because when I woke up 2 hours ago, it was an icebox. Now, it's approaching a sauna. Maybe it's getting a little microwave-ish in here. Anyway, we're now fully rested. Spells are restored. Enemies still dead as ever. No ambush. Pretty nice. Sela no longer has the light over her head. Let's fix that really quickly. Let's see what we've got. The Minor of Holgus Worm. Silver disc. Not worth it. Next. Also not worth it.
Our path leads on.
Now what is that?
Spot's a trap. Probably best to just give Horgus. Wait. Someone failed a perception
Might be trap.
check.
Might be treasure.
I wonder. How are we supposed to go about disarming this? I was going to say detrapping.
I hope you appreciate this.
Depends on what's inside. A short bow. A worthless counterfeit of all things, and 250 gold. I'm going to say yes and no to it being worth it. August, get your bottom up here. The mansion is clear. You're alive. Fine work. And of course, Camellia goes with him. My secret door remains unopened. Fantastic. I wasn't too late. If you will follow me. Family secret's about to be revealed. It's so thrilling.
I will guide us.
Oh, no need to rush. Gently, slowly, carefully. Let's look around. Nope, not that way, idiots. He said we could take whatever we
I am
found.
helpful, am I not?
Breastplates. And we'll see after that breastplate is identified. Lann, stop. Stop. It's okay. There's nothing else in here. And we come upon Worm. The paintings are right where I left them. Very good. August Worm thanks you for your help. Succeeded at a perception check. There's something off about the paintings in front of you. The blonde-haired boy in the Worm family colors doesn't look like Horgus in the least. The family portrait depicts Horgus alongside an unknown half-elf woman and a little girl who bears a striking resemblance to Camellia. Who's in the paintings, Horgus? So you've noticed. Seems there's no point in hiding it anymore. Horgus is silent for a few moments, then sighs and presses his lips into a hard line. You see, I have two secrets. Camellia is in fact my daughter. And I am not the real Horgus Worm. Say, what? My real name is Darian Witt. My parents were the servants of the real Worms at their mansion on the eastern edge of Mandev. The Worms were generous and noble, but short-sighted. They burned through most of their fortune on charity, when instead they should have taken better care of guarding the mansion. When I was 10 or so, I used to play in the garden with the real August Worm, who was just my age. I have no idea where the demons came from. August ran into the mansion and I bolted in the opposite direction. He was captured and killed and I wasn't. August shrugs apologetically. Crusaders came from the nearest city to aid us, but I was the only one who survived. They asked me my name and I said I was August Worm. End of story. Such a heart-wrenching tale. It never fails to bring tears to my eyes. You're in no position to judge me, Camellia. August's hands curl into fists, but his voice sounds more tired than angry. You're right, I'm not. Oh, this is dumb, so we're not going with that. Oh. I mean, as long as he keeps paying out, I don't care what his past was. That's your business, not mine. Thank you. Remembering mistakes in one's childhood is no easy task. It is difficult for me to speak openly about secrets which I've kept all these years. I've been hostage to them my entire life, strange as that sounds. So, Camelia's your little girl, then? Yes, illegitimate, that is to say. Orgus's cheeks reddened. She's resided in this house since birth. The staff thought she was the niece or the daughter of a friend who died in the Crusades. I never disabused them of their notions. Her mother, WeArEuS, was a half-elf of humble origin. She worked in the gardens here. I wanted to unite the Gwyrm family with the nether noble line. The Gwyrm name could not be permitted to mix with commoners and thereby plunge into insignificance. WeArEuS did not protest, and we successfully hid our connection. And when Camellia was born, I did not claim her as my own. As far as Mendev knows, Camellia is the daughter of a Gwyrm family servant who died over 10 years ago. And before you start telling me what a terrible father I am, I want to tell you something. My daughter wanted for nothing, and all her whims were fulfilled as quickly as they arose. I hired the best teachers, bought her the best books. She always ate well and had warm clothes. Isn't that what a parent does? You've discovered my most terrible secret. Father cares so much about the Gwyrm name that he raised me in our mansion, hiding me away from the whole world. I'll always be grateful to my father for everything he's done for me, even if Mendev's society disapproves of some of his decisions. Would it be insolent of me to beg for your discretion regarding what you know about us? I couldn't care less about your secret. The hint of a smile plays on Camelia's mouth. Please accept my humblest thanks. Orgus casts a wary look at the girl, but remains silent. What's it like to live your whole life under someone else's name? When I was a boy, I used to hate Orgus. The condescension most of all, the pity on his face, his smile when he called me to join him in his games. The difference in our birthright wasn't fair. Envy clouded my mind. When the demons killed him and not me, I thought it was a gift of fate. Exactly why I didn't pity him. Granted, I couldn't have known, but he also didn't hesitate to use or to take the boy's name for himself, so no way I was going to just pity him. No. So I just left it at that. I chose not to care about his past decisions. What I told them my name was Horgus Worm, the only heir to the vast fortune of the Worm family. On that day, life was fair. Unfortunately, it took me many years to see the generosity behind the condescension and feel the compassion behind the pity. I discovered far too late that Horgus was my friend, even when I didn't feel myself his. I never accepted the hand of friendship he offered, even until it was far too late. But now what can I do? Reveal the truth, reject the name, allow it to sink into oblivion? Would my friend Horgus want this? Horgus shakes his head, tired. I bear the name of Horgus Worm with the pride and dignity it deserves, as a banner on a battlefield. I will multiply its merits. The Gwyrm family will not be forgotten. I still serve Horgus Worm. Horgus attempts to smile, but the result is pathetic. So what are you planning to do next? Well, first and foremost, I shall reward you handsomely for your help, and then I shall burn these portraits. I've kept them all this time out of misplaced sentiment, but they serve no purpose now. My ravaged home will likely be picked to the bone, and this secret room will inevitably be discovered. I don't want these paintings to be seen by anyone else. Alright. Well, you certainly earned your payment. Here, it was a pleasure doing business with you. Orgus is silent for a while. Camellia, I can tell from your face that you enjoyed fighting the demons in this worthy party. I only ask one thing. Are you certain? Camellia doesn't answer, but looks at Horgus with a half smile lingering on her lips. Well then, clearly I can no longer keep you safe. Our house is destroyed, our servants scattered or dead. Horgus stares into his daughter's face as though he's seeking the answer to an unasked question. Then he turns his attention to you. But now, follow me. We'll make sure that no one ever again discovers the secrets of Horgus Worm. And with that, we've gained 460 XP, and everyone another level. Oh, I better spend this now. So good. How far are we off from the next level? I can't tell, but I imagine it's going to be around 20,000, probably 23,000. So we're looking at another 8. We're looking at an 8,000 XP to the next one. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and spend these levels, which means I'm going to stop timing the video and technically stop recording until I get this done, which will take 30 minutes if I'm lucky, 40 if I'm not, 50 if I'm having a good time. And so I'll see you guys in what will be for you a very little bit of time. Well, I don't know exactly how long that took, but it definitely took. I'm sure I've been sitting here for about 2 hours. I'm frankly afraid to look at OBS and even check. So I'm going to pretend that everything is fine. And it didn't take me 2 hours to finally decide on everyone's level up. That being said,
I will see this through.
starting with Mara, we've gotten, well, he acquired the meta magic feat that allows him to increase the reach of spells with certain limitations. Mostly my objective here was to increase the range of things like his touch spells. It's not going to do a whole lot of good for us, but it's going to help. Now, what he got for the level up itself, well, I actually, instead of going deeper into, Face Speaker as a druid, I instead broke off and went into sorcery as a secondary class. As a result, he also has this, and the spells Grease and True Strike. He can use either up to 4 times a day, which is going to just be really, really good. Especially considering that among the feats that I also picked up for him, I also got, I also acquired Arcane Strike, which, as a swift action, allows me to imbue weapons with a fraction of his power, and for 1 round, his weapons deal +1 damage and are treated as magic for the purpose of overcoming damage. Really good. Just the best. So, basically, this allows me to deal damage regardless of even if I'm using ranged or not, against demons most importantly here. Also, as part of the deviation to the 9-tailed heir, he also acquired cantrips, which is the 0-level spells, mostly offensive stuff. But he also spec'd into the Draconic Bloodline. I think it was bronze? I don't think it shows here. Either way, he spec'd into one of the Draconic Bloodlines, and its specialty is electric damage. So, yeah, the Dragon Bloodline was bronze, as you can see in the name there. Anyway, that allows spells that deal electricity damage to do an extra point of damage per die rolled. Not going to be really useful considering that he's only level 1, but that's an issue for another time. Anyway, what else did we get? Any useful traits? No. Okay, that's mostly it for him, but it's pretty freaking good. I at least hope that he'll be a smidge more useful, considering he's got more spells to work with, mostly offensive stuff. Also, I swapped out one use of Frigid Touch since I very rarely even use it because, frankly, going into melee range against most enemies is dangerous to suicide. So, there's that. I instead added a couple of stone calls, so that's going to be useful. At least I hope so. If not, we can switch to Cat's Grace, put that there, and then that'll give him a dexterity bonus of +4, which should help him land ranged attacks more frequently. So I am thinking about this, even though it may not seem like it. Now, for Seela, what did we get? Abilities. So, for Seela, I continued speccing her forward into, what is her current freaking class? Paladin, right. So, I wasn't going to, but I also am not entirely sure where I would take her in order to get her a mount. But that's getting a little ahead of myself. So, as I said, I spec'd her into Paladin a little further. Turns out she gets some really nice things at level 5. At level 5, she had the option of getting the ability to imbue her weapons with effects like keen, flaming, and I think that's it. I can't check because I didn't go with that. Because on the flip side, instead of being able to imbue her weapons, she could get a mount. And I mean, you know me. So naturally, I got her the mount. I also picked up some abilities for the mount to use. Things like mounted, well, I don't think it has trample yet, but anyway. I got mounted shield, which allows her to add her shield bonus to the mount's armor class. Oh, it's going to help so much because otherwise he'd basically just be a punching bag, and we don't like those. Now, I also got mounted combat, which allows me to attempt a mobility check to negate a hit when my mount is actually being attacked. But it only works if the hit is only negated if the mobility check result is greater than the opponent's attack roll. And I must say, her mount's mobility is pretty freaking high. I think it rivals WoLGIF's at this time, meaning I can probably stop putting points into mobility for WoLGIF as well as points into athletics for Lann. Now that she has a mount, she should be able to fight while on horseback. Unfortunately, she couldn't select any unorthodox mounts like Triceratops or any other things. I don't like bears and things like that, which is unfortunate, but what can I do? Now, that's pretty much it for what she got, aside from things like Veil of Positive Energy, Veil of Heaven, because I do not remember seeing these before. We also got Challenge Evil. I don't know if this is actually new or if we had it already, but regardless, I really did want to get Blessed Weapon, so she'd have two uses of that. But I mean, think back to what Lann did to the Babau's. Oh, it was just so good. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, I wanted to get her 2 blessed weapons, but I decided against it. Lann had his own thing going on. Well, I didn't have any plans for Lann at the point in time, but whatever, you'll see. So, I got her challenge evil instead of another use of blessed weapon, which probably would have been the wiser move. With this, I can challenge an evil creature to fight or suffer the consequences, and she gains a +2 sacred bonus on all melee attacks against the subject. So even if she's fighting defensively, she has a higher chance of actually landing a hit now, if it's not already also marked with smite evil. But let's not get into that. If the target chooses not to attack, or I'm assuming it counts if they're prone because they, I don't know, just slipped on grease that totally wasn't my fault, then they become sickened. And I don't know if the sickened is irresistible or if it still is subject to the normal saving throws. I'm cool with that. It works as long as the target doesn't have any fear. No, she can't be feared, so it's fine in that case. So yeah, that should be okay. I also was looking at stunning barrier, which would grant her a deflection bonus to AC, but now that I think about it, that might not work with ward when I have Ember cast that on her. I think that's about it for her for now. Oh, she's looking really good. I'm also working towards getting her an advanced class. Well, I say working towards it, but I haven't actually looked into the advanced classes that she's near enough to specking into. Moving on. We have Lann, who has no spells, naturally. Now, I want you to stay with me here. Stay with me here. I want your mind to become one with mine as you see what I'm trying to go for here. Now, remember, WotR does some frankly stupid damage, even to enemies with significant damage resistance against anything but a specific type of weapon or alignment. Now, as a result, I found myself a little envious and aroused by that. So, I figured, why not give Lann some of that good action? I spec'd him instead of going further into the Zen Archer class, which would have gotten him a nice damage boost, but I don't think it would have been as nice as this is going to be. If I had spec'd him further into the Zen Archer tree, he would have gotten, I don't remember the exact name of the ability, but I do remember what it did. It would grant his arrows fired from his bow the same damage as an unarmed attack. So basically, if, for example, he was firing from I think it's a short bow, then his attack would go from 1 to 6 damage up to 1 to 8 damage. I don't know what that would be with a composite bow like he has currently, but that's another issue altogether. Now, that sounds good and all until you realize that's still subject to damage reductions, whereas sneak attacks tend to circumvent that slightly. So I decided, what if we made Lann a bit of a scoundrel? Gave him the ability to sneak attack from range. And so I did. I don't know if we're going to go further in to the rowdy rogue tree or class, but what he's gotten so far is quite good. So as you can see here, he has the ability to sneak attack enemies that are flanked, or let's see, deals damage anytime it would be denied dexterity bonus to armor class, but mostly we're going to get that because we're going to have upwards of 3 people flanking whatever target Lann's going to be attacking. Most of the demons that we've come across are all melee, so we should be able to get a flank bonus. Well, we should be able to get them flanked and get the sneak attack bonus as a result. I also learned that he's getting the ability to fire. I'm pretty sure it's a result of flurry of blows, but that might have been a realization from something else. Anyway, as a result of the branching off into the Rowdy Rogue class, he also acquires the ability to add half of his level to perception checks, which is pretty good because he's got some pretty nice perception. At 14, he adds what, 2 to it, so his perception is 14, at least in the case of searching for or revealing traps. He also got some rogue proficiencies, but I'm not going to worry about any of that. What about his armor class bonus? When unarmored and unencumbered, he adds his wisdom bonus, +3, to his armor class, and in addition, gains +1 at the 4th level. Okay, not bad. Anyway, so we also have Vital Force, which I picked up as a feat from the same class tree. Well, I picked up as a feat from the same class, adding an additional 2 to 12 damage per sneak attack die when he hits. Ugh. If this works like I think it'll work, even without the extra attack from this to make up for reduced damage against demons with any sort of or amount of resistance, Lann's going to become really, really disgusting. Let's see about his feats. Okay, apparently he also acquired the ability to brew potions, or had it all the time. I haven't had him actually try to use that. That came from Zen Archer. So, we also have Accomplished Sneak Attacker, which increases his sneak attack damage by 1 to 6. And of course, your number of sneak attack dice cannot exceed half of your character level rounded up. So 3 is his current sneak attack dice right now. Yeah, that's definitely it. We also gave him Vital Strike, which, as I said before, for what's his goddamn name? Morrow. It basically makes his weapon a magic weapon. Wait. No. Vital Strike. No, this is new though. I'm thinking, yeah, Arcane Strike, yeah. Makes sense that I got it mixed up. So, this allows him to make a single attack that deals significantly more damage than normal. He can make a single attack at his highest base attack bonus that deals additional damage. He effectively rolls the weapon's dice for the attack twice and adds the results together before adding bonuses from strength, and that's only at 3. But his dexterity is only at 4, so it's not like it's that big of a... I can't think of the word I was looking for. So it's not that bad. Anyway. From strength, weapon abilities, there aren't any of those, right? Right, anyway. There's a lot for me to keep in mind here. Okay, so this also stacks with precision-based... Okay, and those results are the attack... No, weapon's damage dice for the attack twice and adds the results together. So, then it adds to things like sneak attack damage. Oh, that's going to be so good. Unfortunately, it isn't multiplied on a crit hit, but trying to account for a crit hit anyway is pretty bad, so that's fine. I think that's all. I think that's all for him. So good. Oh, if it works, it's going to be really, really good. Then we have WoLJif. What did I do for WoLJif? I apparently kept him spec'd into Eldritch Scoundrel. But what did we get out of that? Okay, so we gave him Arcane Strike, which turns his weapons into magic weapons, allowing him to bypass damage reduction. Oh, that's going to be good. What else did he get, though? He apparently didn't get any... Considering that Finesse Training Dagger makes him use his Dexterity modifier, which is +5, instead of his Strength modifier, which is 0. He still does some really disgusting damage. So this is why he has such good damage against creatures with damage reduction. The character's attack reduces that damage reduction for 2 rounds by an amount equal to the character's level. Holy crap! Wow, that is actually huge. So it's not helping his damage against it. So what I've done with Lann should still work like I think. But that is actually huge. I had no idea he had that. That is actually huge. Well, crap. Okay, so he also gained some new spells. Mostly, okay, what I did here, before he used to have shield in this slot. What was in this other one? He had fear here and something else in this one. Doesn't really matter. Either way, as you can see now, we're going to have, once we rest, 3 uses of Grease and 2 uses of Snowball. I don't know when or if I'll actually use Snowball, so I'm still just feeling out what we want to have extra uses of. Shield he can't give to anyone, so it's a bit of a loss there, but I think I'm okay with just these. So, as part of his second level and speccing further into the, what was it? Something Scoundrel. Eldritch Scoundrel. So, because I continued on and let him level into 5 for Eldritch Scoundrel, he acquired the ability to get 2 new spells. I chose to get Sense Vital since I read it very, very thoroughly. And it says at the very bottom, this additional damage stacks with other sources of precision. Sense Vitals basically allows him to, it basically gives him additional sneak damage on top of every other source of sneak damage that he has normally from his class. And if I'm right, and I'm like 90% sure I'm right, otherwise I'm so sad about that. It was just being a wasted selection. Of course, there weren't that many really good ones that we could have gotten in its place, but we also picked up Web. Now, note that Web is here and Sense Vitals is not. Grease works fine when it works. Some enemies can still walk through it, but if I were to put a web on top of the grease, then they're sort of stuck in it, and every now and then they fall and continue to be stuck in it. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So good. If it works. He also still has mirror image. I really should have used that. I really need to remember that I have that to use. Anyway, so that's all we've got for WotR this time around. Then we had Ember. I looked at a couple of other. What's the freaking word? Another class, the Exploiter something. It looked nice, sounded good, but I didn't get it this time. Instead, I continued on into the Stigmatized Witch class. And what did she get? She gets something nice in the future, so I'm going to continue speccing into it. I really would like to get something else. I got her brew potions because I completely forgot or was unaware that WotR could brew potions. Well, that's where we are on that. But there weren't many other things she could actually get that would have been useful. There was one feat that would have allowed her to have a better rolls for her, or difficulty checks for her spells. But that's about it. Anyway, did we get any new traits? Elven magic, elven immunities? No. Wait. Including composite longbows. I guess I could give her a longbow. We've got enough of them. I think we just picked up another one. Anyway, I'm getting a little distracted again. So, I did that. She didn't get a whole lot of other stuff like relevant to feats and things. She just got the one, and I picked up brew potions because all of the other options sucked. So, still the same. Oh, right. She picked up a new level 1 spell and one new level 2 spell. The new level 1 spell is Command, allowing her to force a single target to follow a single command, ranging from Approach, which forces it to come towards you, provoking all attacks of opportunity on the way. Fall, oh, that's just nice. But I mean, Fall, what it does is obvious. Halt, which is obvious, it just stands there and does nothing. Or Flee. I missed that one there. I want it close to me. I want it, close to Seela. I'll never use Flee, and I don't exactly know. This is affected by the target's spell resistance, so using it on demons is unlikely to work. Also, I have to be careful of using it against enemies with a high amount of will. So, that's what we got for level 1. What we got for level 2 was blindness. There weren't a lot of good options. There just weren't. Now, blindness is affected by a target spell resistance, and against demons, that's just not worth it. But against humans, that'd work. Actually, didn't we get her? What is it? No, I didn't get her any meta magic feats. I thought I did. I don't know if it was there, but I want to get her. I want to get her a meta magic feat that increases the reach of her spells. Things like anything with a what's the word I'm looking for? A touch range of, let's say, melee or close yeah, melee or close, I don't want her anywhere near enemies. For the most part, she casts when there's nothing to be cast. She shoots an arrow in the direction of the enemy. That's about it. So I got blindness. I can't really do anything with that, but we also have these we got just for free. We got Burning Arc. I don't know if we actually... I'm pretty sure we didn't have these. So yeah, we got Burning Arc, which causes an arc of flame to leap from your fingers, burning one nearby enemy plus an additional enemy for every 3 caster levels. So right now, she only gets to hit 2 enemies. Then there's Scorching Ray, which allows her to fire a blast of fire from, well, a beam of fire from at one enemy multiple times for every 4 levels beyond the 3rd. Right now it means she can't even fire 2. I don't see myself using that a whole lot. They're both also affected by spell resistance, so I probably won't get... it's unlikely they'll see any use against demons. Glitter Dust, on the other hand, will. Right. Then there's this one. I realized something about the mansion that I was talking about in jest. But if I were to say anything about it, well, how do I put it? If I were to say anything about it, wait, are these affected too because she's had her level technically reduced? Oh, that's just sad. Anyway, I still can't cure her freaking negative level. I just can't. But as I was saying, I've realized something about her and the mansion that I was joking about while we were, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, while we were going through the mansion. But I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, so I don't actually want to say it. But I will tell you, if you're interested in what her alignment is, it can't be hidden during the selection for certain classes, and I don't know if it I don't think there are any feats that relate to or depend on your alignment. So if you look at certain classes, you'll be able to figure out what her alignment is. I don't know if it's just made up or what, or if it's the absolute truth. But I've got my suspicions. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you'll probably be able to figure it out if you, put all of the clues I've given you together. Moving on. I continue to spec her further into Spirit Hunter. I was looking to move her into Assassin, but she doesn't have enough stealth for that. So I gave her some extra stealth. She's at 4 right now. I think she needed 5 for Assassin. And because she's got the negative level that I can't do anything about unless I buy a scroll, which is going to be terribly expensive. But where needs must. Anyway, so I put some points into stealth, and I'm going to probably spec her into that if her next level in Spirit Hunter doesn't look alluring. So, what we got from the level up was, she got the ability to, she can basically do what Seela would have been able to do had I gone with the weapon buffing or enchanting ability instead of mounted combat. But come on, how am I going to say no to mounted combat? However, she actually gets more Where Sela only got like enhancement. I don't know if it was +1 or +2. Anyway, where Sela only had an enhancement like this, Camellia actually gets Flaming Spirit enchantment, which Sela could also make her weapon flaming, but she also gets Shock and Frost in addition to Keen, which is really cool. Keen doubles the threat range of a weapon. So enemies walking through that threat range get, well, they can provoke opportunities of attack even if they think they're safe. I didn't get anything. Oh, we did get this. We got Fencing Grace as her feat, which allows her to choose one kind of light or one-handed piercing weapon. And when wielding that weapon, she adds her dexterity modifier instead of her strength modifier to that weapon's damage. Yeah, I had to go with this one. I think there was one other one I like the look of, but this one, it was Piranha Strike. That was the other one. So it was between Fencing Grace and Piranha Strike, which I don't really remember what it does, but I do want to get that if it comes up as an option again. Did we get any new traits? No. So in her spell book, what did we get? So we still have all of these heals and bless, because having that morale bonus on attack rolls will be huge. Nothing else was added from the look of things, but we do have remove fear, which may be necessary in the future. I don't think we actually got anything new in this tree either. Lesser restoration. I still have it on here because I just can't figure out anything better to put in its place. Hold person might be okay, but I don't really need it against humans. I've got grease for that. Of course, a paralyzed enemy, which is what hold person inflicts, a paralyzed enemy is vulnerable, and I can then, well, consider helpless, and I can then use coup de grace. But then it's a single use and will negates. Not really worth it. We also have remove paralysis, so in case that becomes necessary, we'll at least have that. Now, here we have her level 3 spell book. Now, she has a spirit magic slot for this one spell specifically, Magical Vestment, which can be used on herself or an ally, and imbues a suit of armor or a shield with an enhancement bonus of +1 for every 4 caster levels. So right now it's just +1. We also got her, we specifically had to choose some additional, I think it was 2 spells. And I don't remember which one I got. This entire 3rd level of spells is brand new, so you'll forgive me if I can't pick out what else I chose for her. I'd never have chosen Poison Delay, Protection from Energy. I'd have considered Remove Disease, but I know I didn't choose that one. I might have gotten this or Bestow Curse. Bestow Curse is interesting, but only just interesting. It can inflict 4 different curses, but only one of them. I'm only able to choose from one of them. I can go with Feeble Body, which causes the target to suffer a -6 penalty to Constitution. That is the obvious choice if I'm going to use it, because -6 Constitution, that is a good chunk of health loss, just for free without having to actually deal damage. So long as the target's will is low enough to not negate it, of course. Now, from here, we also have Curse of Weakness, A -6 penalty to strength and dexterity. Useful, I guess, but I'd rather have the constitution reduced. That way it takes less damage to kill them. Curse of Idiocy, which reduces intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Not really ever going to use that. Unless we're facing a mage that is just disgusting, then yeah. But even then, the reduced constitution is still just better. Moving on. There's Curse of Deterioration, which causes a -4 penalty on attack rolls, saves, ability checks, and skill checks. I'm really torn between this one and Feeble Body. Deterioration means they're more likely to miss or fail to resist things. But Feeble Body makes them that much easier to kill. The faster I kill them, the less their attack rolls, saves, ability checks, and skill checks matter. You see what I'm saying? So, of course, I had to put Bestow Curse in. Now, you see I have Soothing Mud. Let me go ahead and show you what that does. You create an area of healing mud because, that's not weird. The mud functions as difficult terrain, which sucks, but what can you do? When a creature enters the mud, it is healed of 1 to 4 points of ability damage. Oh, now that I see that, it's not actually... Huh. I didn't notice the part where it said ability damage. I knew it said ability damage, but I still mistook that as health. But it's actually still pretty interesting. Useful, but not as useful as I originally was hoping it would be. But it still does the other thing, which is the main reason why I added it. That explains why the heal for it is so low. It's ability damage that it's undoing. Anyway, the other part of it is also each round after, the mud also restores 1 hit point to the creature. This healing is unaffected by effects that increase a creature's healing. We also have, as one of the new ones, Summon Nature's Ally 3. I'm not going to get this ever because you can either summon a natural leopard, 1 to 3 giant frogs, or 1 to 4 plus 1 natural might. And I can't control them, so I don't know what it is they're capable of. If they have abilities, they never use them, and they don't last long, so what's the point? So, aside from having other things that the enemies can attack, which, let's be honest, isn't really that useful, I naturally didn't add it. Now, I'm still looking at Cure Serious Wounds, which cures 3 to 24 points of damage, which is nice. Oh, plus 1 point per caster level, which is really good. So I'm looking at that as well, but I don't know. I'd only get 1 or 2 uses out of it, and... But then there's Call Lightning. This targets a specific creature, which could be allied or enemy. I don't know why you would cast it on an ally. Unless they have, like, absolute... Nope, it penetrates their resistance, but not immunity. I don't know why you cast that on an ally. Anyway, it calls down a bolt of lightning, dealing upwards of 18 damage, 18 points of electricity damage. But that's just the first time. You can actually call this up to, its duration is 1 minute per level. So at her level, I think she's only counts as 4. So its duration would only be 4 minutes. So I can cast this multiple times, consuming 1 minute of this spell's duration. I can do anything in between those minutes, though. I don't have to cast it every single time. But when I do cast it, it counts as a standard round. Or a standard action, my mistake. Which is actually pretty cool. But the things I want to use it against, demons, they have spell resistance. Well, it doesn't count against their spell resistance, but they have lightning resistance. Some of them even have electricity immunity. So then we have inflict serious wounds, which is cool until you realize that it's a touch range spell and a spell. So if she goes into touch range, they punch her in the mouth. Now, of note, among the things that we've gotten, remove blindness. That's going to be huge, because you can't remove blindness unless you have this spell or a scroll for removing blindness. If you don't have them, whatever character is blind forever. As you can see, she also has blindness. Now, second thing of note is remove curse. I don't know if remove curse would actually work on her negative level. I checked the encyclopedia. It's not saying. And we also have remove disease, which removes all diseases from this subject. Oh, and then there's Stinking Cloud. I like Stinking Cloud because I could put this on top of a patch of grease, which is undoubtedly going to be also where I put down a web, so enemies get stuck there. And as long as they're in the Stinking Cloud, they're afflicted with nausea. And it lasts as long as the creature is in the cloud. They can roll each time to get rid of it, but as long as they're in the cloud, they're still subject to having to roll against being affected, and when they're affected, against being cured of it. So you see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to annoy the enemy as much as humanly possible and make their lives absolutely nightmarish. And she's not bad if it weren't for who she is and the way she is. Then we have Horse, Mr. Ed. With his strength modifier, his strength bonus of +5, dexterity +2, and constitution of +3. He's pretty good. I mean, he's only got 38 HP, whereas Seela has 49, nearing 50. He's got athletics of 13 and mobility of 9. Again, he's rivaling, Woljif in mobility, but unfortunately I couldn't get him up quite to par with our best two-handed weapon. Well, dual wielder, that's the word. Now, what I chose for him actually surprises me. I was going to get Bully because, of course, it allows me to trip enemies, and of course you want your enemy tripped, but I was going to go, it was between this Bully, which allows me to trip, and Bulwark, which allows him to actually get damage resistance, which is huge, frankly, because mostly I just want Seela riding him into the front lines because of course I do. But I instead went with Wrecker because Wrecker allows him to acquire the feat Sunder Armor. Now, you might remember this from the Abracandaloo, who sunders Seela's armor every opportunity it gets, and succeeds because, well, she has no combat maneuver defense. What can you do? So, considering how much damage they're able to do to her after they strip her of her armor, I figured, hey, why can't I do that? Especially after having been through the fight with the succubus. Oh my goodness. And if you haven't seen that fight, well, I leave it up to your judgment as to whether you actually want to go through with that or not. So, I got him Sunder Armor, which is a prerequisite for several other things, which, you better believe we're going to get. I don't know what this does. Quickness, add your dexterity bonus to your base. That's only +2. Oh right, that's that one I didn't get at the bottom of the list. Yeah, instead of his strength modifier, that would have been a dumb move. Anyway, so what Sunder does specifically, so you guys know, it grants a +2. Wait. Yeah. It grants a +2 bonus to combat maneuver. What is it? Bonus. Right. When performing this maneuver, and a +2 to combat maneuver defense when defending against it. It allows you to attempt to dislodge an armor worn by your opponent. I don't know how that would have worked against the succubus, and I likely would never. Nope, this was available from level 1, so I could have. No, but she couldn't actually get the horse until just now. I mean, I could have worked around it, but basically she couldn't get the horse until level 5. So, if your combat maneuver is successful, the target loses its bonuses from armor for 1 round. Which, in the case of that succubus, would have been huge. She'd have been dead that turn. For every 5 by which your attack exceeds your opponent's combat maneuver defense, I'd literally have to check both of their stats to even be aware of that, or I could just check. Anyway, it's easy to get distracted here. He can strip armor, is basically the point, and assuming it succeeds. I think the reason I gave him more athletics is because of one of his other... Yeah. Anyway, no, it's not for this, but regardless. We also got him Dazzling Display, which allows him to make a persuasion check, which is not really good because his persuasion's ridiculously low. His persuasion is -2. That's not good. Anyway, still, it leads into things like Shattered Defenses and Dreadful Carnage, which, oh yeah, I want him to have those. So, I also got him Dodge, which increases his, which gives him a +1 bonus to armor class, which is going to be huge because he's always going to be on the front line. His weapon focus is other natural weapons, which I'm really hoping is the right one for him. Because he's got Bite and then his Hooves for 3 attacks for a full attack. So I hope that's the right one. I think the Bite is his main one, but yeah, the Bite is his main attacks. I might have messed up. Either way. So he's got coup de grace. He also has evasion, which allows him to evade even magical and unusual attacks. Don't know why he has that. I guess he could speak horse at them and sort of upset them slightly. He also has trip defense because he has 4 feet. And ladies and gentlemen, that is about it. He can also accept rage effects, which is going to be huge because, well, rage makes you so much stronger. Well, makes you hit harder at the very least. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see by the timer above that I can't actually remove from the video because it's recording GeForce Now as a whole, we only have 5 minutes, technically 6 minutes left, so that's going to do it for us. I'm pretty sure this video is about 4 hours long, and getting this edited down is going to be rather unpleasant, let's put it that way. So unfortunately we're going to have to end it for today, but we will see you again Tuesday. And I am I'm so looking forward to putting all of these new abilities and changes through their paces to see if I actually messed up or not. Let me make sure I hard save first. Now we have the changes, and then I'm going to go back once I finish this video and properly get you guys out of here. I'm going to go ahead, load the quick save. I can't do that. Ooh, unfortunate. I was hoping to be able to have the quick save from before we started leveling them up. And that way, if these changes didn't work, even for one of these characters, I could come back and change them. Or, well, now that I think about it, I can just go to Helor, back in the tavern, the Defender's Heart specifically, and change them there. Although I only get 3 free opportunities to do that, I think it is. So there's that. Why is the snowball on here 3 times? I mean, I get it, there were open slots, but pick one. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. To reiterate, we will be back on Tuesday with another episode. So, we'll get to see then if all of these changes and additions will actually be worth it. Oh, I am certainly hoping so, because I don't want to spend another 2 hours going back through their levels to fix them. Oh, I'd totally do it with a smile on my face. But afterward, you know? Afterward, I'd feel bad. And so with all that said, we will see you next time.